Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sofia Messina, and I'm here today because during this talent talk, we will talk about Dallara and the opportunities that the company offers to young people that are willing to develop their career in the automotive industry. I will share a presentation with you right now. Then that talks really about the company, our business, also the type of professional figures that we're looking at. Later on, you will have the chance to listen through a video from the people that work at Dallara, what working for this company really means. And finally, the best part of the presentation, I will share with you the values that we all share within Dallara, and also which are the professional opportunities that are right now opened within the company, and which are the academic patterns that can lead you to take this position at Dallara. My role within the company is working on the development of people. I'm actually the learning and development specialist within the HR department. So my role is really helping people to grow as people and as professionals through training. This is the role which I'm talking you from today. So I'll start sharing the presentation with you. We will be together approximately 1 hour. So I do hope that you have a lot of questions. And if you do, please write them in the comments section so that people on the backstage can send them to me later on. Let's start. So the best way to describe Dallara, which is one of the important players in the motor valley, as you know, is starting from the vision and mission. And in order to define the vision and mission, not only we started talking with Mr. Dallara, which is the founder of the company, as you know for sure, and Andrea Pontremoli, which is the CEO of the company today, but we really did a job, a hard job, which was listening to the people that work at the company and understand which were the elements that we all share. And we came up with these two items. The first one is the vision of Dallara. We are a community that invests every day in a sustainable way for a better future and gives support, security, and solidarity to its people, its families, and its territory with appreciation and gratitude. We'll come back to these concepts of appreciation, gratitude, families that you see in this slide. More or less at the end of the presentation. So we'll go deeper on that. And the second part that I wanted to show you and that you see on the bottom part of the slide is the mission that we all share at Dallara. The mission is very straightforward, very simple. Our aim is to design and produce the fastest and safest cars in the world. So when I say that, some people may think this is outdated because we see that Dallara today not only produces cars, but for example, recently, and we will see that later on, we entered into a new industry, which is the aerospace industry. So why do we only talk about cars here? So the accent in the mission is not really on the cars, which are, of course, the origin of the company and the item that brought us over this success pattern. But what you really should focus on are two elements, the fastness and the safeness. So we do aim to do things that go fast and are safe in whatever industry we work on, even if we produce cars or if we are working on the aerospace industry or in any other industry which Dallara may enter on in the future. And now let's go deepest. Let's start talking about the business, which is one very interesting thing for everyone that is looking for job opportunities, right? So Dallara today has more than 650 employees with a turnover of up to 130 million euros. And very important information, 90% of the production is exported, is sold abroad today. How do we work? Mainly we are divided in 3 business units. So the automotive business unit, the racing business unit, and the aerospace and defense business unit. You can see from the pie on the left bottom part of this slide, which is the oldest and which is the most recent business unit, right? So the racing business unit today represents 72% of sales. And this, of course, the most ancient, the oldest industry where Dallara started working in. And then we have the most modern, the latest one, which we entered in, which is the aerospace and defense industry. This is why the aerospace and defense still takes only 3% of the sales. But of course, the projections are that the aerospace and defense industry grows in importance for us in terms of sales. And this is why we will need the help of a lot of new professionals which specialize in this industry as well, beyond the type of specialization in the automotive industry that we usually look for. And then you can see another chart, which is sales by business model. You find it at the bottom right part of this slide. And here you can see 3 things. So we do work for the 48% of our revenues on engineering and production projects. So this means that we do the engineering, but we also produce a piece, a car, and other things that we work on. But the other half of the pie, meaning the other half of the activity done by Dallara, is divided in 2 parts. So there are customers that we work with that ask us to produce things that they already designed. So the engineering is already done, we do production. And then 28% of the customer ask us to do the engineering part, but they produce the item themselves. And now there is an important thing that you should know if you are interested in working at Dallara in the future, and that Dallara is not a company. Dallara is a group. So there are many companies that are part of this group. Of course, the most well-known or the most ancient one are Dallara Automobili, Dallara Fabbrica. And then there are some newest adventures that I would like to talk to you about. Let's start from Dallara Automobili. It is based in Varano de Melegari. It has a total area of 12,000 square meters, and the majority of our people are there, approximately 400 people today. We do engineering and manufacturing there. And then we do have Dallara Fabbrica, which is also in Varano de Melegari. The building has a total area of 2,300 square meters. We do mainly manufacturing here. And then Dallara Academy. Dallara Academy is not really a company. It's more of a building, but it's a building where amazing things happen. We will go back to it later on. It is also here in Varano, which is the place where I'm talking from today. We do have Dallara Compositi as well. Dallara Compositi is a company that has been acquired recently. We will see it when we see the history of Dallara. It is not based in Varano. It is based in Collecchio, not very far from here, closest to Parma. It has the building has a total area of 7,000 square meters, and we do manufacturing there mainly. And finally, we have Dallara USA, which is our branch in the States, in particular in Indiana. Those who know the Dallara business well know that the majority of our cars are sold abroad, and the United States is one of our most important markets with the IndyCar competition. This is the campus, or the map of the campus that is in Varano. We call it a campus because it's a very broad area with 11 buildings and a lot of green space in the middle. So this is kind of our home. And this is the place where really everything started in, or everything started not very far from here in 1972 when Dallara Automobili was founded, and that we consider really the year of the foundation of the company. So to tell you a bit more of the history of the company, the year of the foundation, 1972, Dallara Automobili is created and the racing business unit was born. The truth is that today we talk about business units. There were no business units at the time. Racing cars was pretty much everything we did, and it was a big challenge already. 1978, the first chassis for Formula 3 was created, and in 1984 we started working a lot on engineering and research with the creation of the first wind tunnel. In 1985 the first carbon fiber chassis was produced, and in 1998 the first Indy 500 victory. Since then we never lost an IndyCar competition. We just lost one. All the others have been won always. In 2000, the automotive business unit was created, so we started working on cars that could go on regular roads, and in 2000 the first automotive project was completed in partnership with Bugatti. In 2011, the first professional driving simulator was created, so you see a lot of technology effort, and in 2012 we created Dallara USA. So the American branch, which was what I was talking about before. In 2015, Dark was born, which Dark is a part of the company that we're very proud of. It's a research center that works on composite materials. And talking about composite materials, which we will see together later on, is one of our core competencies. In 2015, Dallara acquires a company that today is called Dallara Compositi, and that is based in Collecchio. So in 2017, another important step of our history, big dream that became reality, Dallara Stradale was born. So the first car that Dallara has ever sold to a B2C customer. So not to a company, not for a competition, but to a person that was willing to drive it. In 2018, another big dream becomes true is Dallara Academy. As I was telling you before, it's a building where great things happen in terms of education and entertainment. We will see it later. And then in 2021, a new big challenge is undertook. We started working on the aerospace and defense industry with a new business unit, which is still only 3% of sales, but is planned to grow up very fast in the next years with the help of a lot of professionals like you. And talking about business units, how is Dallara organized today? So we do have a first business unit, which is the racing one. This is probably the most, as we were telling before, the oldest industry where Dallara entered in. And today we do 4 things in the racing business unit: engineering consultancy, prototype and series production services, and mainly the production of race cars, and also spare parts support for other companies. Then we do have the automotive business unit when we do engineering consultancy, prototype and series production services, and where Dallara Stradale was born. And finally, the aerospace and defense industry, where we do engineering delivery solutions, engineering consultancy, prototype and series production, and finally services. Another important thing that you should know if you would like to work at Dallara one day is that we do work with a matricial system under an organizational point of view. So we do have business units, as you can see on the horizontal side, and then we do have departments. Where the department meets the business unit, a project team is created. So a project team is a team which is created by people that come from different departments, but the same business unit. And the team could work on a project for months or for many, many years. Very important point. Which type of expertise will you acquire if you start working at Dallara? 6 things. Lightweight design and structural optimization is one of our core competencies. Holistic performance simulations, aerodynamics, electronic architecture and development, production and assembly, and finally, indoor and outdoor testing. These are skills that we hope that people develop when they start working at Dallara. But of course, these are things that we hope you are interested in before getting into the company, since these are the main things that you will be working on. And these are skills that we need all over the process of researching, designing, prototyping, and finally producing cars or spare pieces. Research is the first phase we work on. Then the dark, so the research center is mainly the place where research happens. Then we do have design and simulation, prototype and validation, and finally we produce, so series production. Very amazing dream that became true, as I defined it before, is Dallara Academy. So Dallara Academy is a building, it's not a company. And in Dallara Academy, there are 2 things that happen. It is here in Varano. We have the educational labs, first of all. So education happens there. The educational labs are experiences that we offer to students like you or youngest that can be done by classroom, so in an academic context, but also by families. And mainly that teach to the youngest generation how physics is used in the creation of cars. And then we have Mooner. What is Mooner? We will see it later on, but it's mainly an academic pattern that I will suggest you later because it really helps people develop the skills needed in order to become a designer here at Dallara. And some of the lessons are held here in Dallara Academy. But in Dallara Academy, there is not only education, there is also entertainment. So we have an exhibition area where you can see many of the cars that Dallara has been working on. And then there are events that we do as Dallara ourselves or in partnership with other companies. Here, there are all our social media channels. I invite you all to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn because you will be super updated about all the news at Dallara, but also the job posting. Right now, I'll ask to the people on the backstage to show you a video that we have ready for you, where you will see people at Dallara and they will tell you what working at Dallara is. If you could send the video, please.
C'è chi cerca di comportarsi in modo di fare il bene prossimo e quello degli altri, e questo è il saggio. Essere saggi conviene anche dal punto di vista egoistico, stai meglio anche tu. Io mi sento in pace con gli altri e sono convinto di avere anche pochi nemici, insomma, questo qui mi fa vivere bene. Dobbiamo cercare di immaginare come tentare di fare bene quello che sarà necessario fare domani.
Persone che ci mettono il loro pensiero, che ci mettono il loro ragionamento.
Irrigare la terra per fare in modo che ognuno di voi che lavorate lì possiate crescere.
Mettersi a disposizione per permettere agli altri di diventare grandi.
Disegnare un futuro dove gli altri vogliono stare. E se tu sei capace di fare questo, gli altri faranno in modo che quel futuro diventi vero veramente.
Saper spronare le persone, motivarle.
Insieme verso lo stesso obiettivo.
Dallara era velocità e performance.
I think he's flexible. I think they've got great engineering talent.
Ciascuno di noi ha le proprie competenze e per fare un buon risultato deve lavorare insieme agli altri.
Questo rapporto di vicinanza non può essere neanche determinato soltanto da un rapporto di lavoro, c'è la voglia anche di rendere qualcosa.
It's not only a business, obviously, but you got to have passion too.
You know, I enjoyed his passion for the sport, but he has a passion for life as well.
Ma la qualità è quella umana, diciamo.
Umana e genuina, che gli ha permesso che tutto gli passasse un po' sopra.
Tutte le volte che pensi che sia facile, c'è qualcuno a dimostrarti che di facile non c'è assolutamente niente.
E a volte si fanno delle cose giuste, a volte sbagliate.
Quando hai fatto un errore, tu devi cercare di capire perché l'hai fatto e non ripeterlo più.
Però sei parte dell'insieme, cioè ti permette di assorbire gli alti e i bassi, perché è importante anche assorbire gli alti.
Riuscire a immaginare quello che dovremo fare, che non è sempre facilissimo, è una bella sfida, insomma, è un altro gran premio da fare, forse il più importante.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
You get through okay? Yeah, this tire knocked down my toe. I passed through a lot of shit, debris, and I gotta check the tire pressure. Can't believe it, man! I cannot believe it!
For me to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it too. Before we go on, let me remind you that you can, if you have questions, you can write them on YouTube so that people on the backstage will pass it to me before the end of the meeting, and I can answer some of them. And what you saw on the video is kind of the short version of a big effort that has been done in Dallara. That is a project that we ran over the last months that has a name, which is Persone Dallara. Basically, the idea was understanding which are the values that really we have in common as a community. And to do that, we started talking with Mr. Dallara to understand what he thought Dallara person is. And then we went back to the workers, to the engineers, to people in production, in all the departments, in order to understand whether those values are shared in the community. And we found out that they actually are. So today, I would like to present you with the values that we all share here, because I think this is an important thing that you need to know before deciding to apply for a job post here at Dallara in your future. But at the end of this short part about the values, we will also go into very practical things, and we will talk about the professional figures that we are looking for right now and the academic patterns that I can recommend you in order to be prepared to join Dallara in this position. So let's start with the values. The first question that we did to Mr. Dallara some months ago in order to understand what he was looking for in the people that started working in the company is exactly what are you looking for in a person to be able to join Dallara? And the answer is fascinating to me. He answered that he was looking for a galantuomo. The Italians among us will know what that means. And a galantuomo who is willing to do this job and willing to learn. You remember before we were talking about the competencies, the skills key for the team. Those skills change all the time. We had 3 main skills before, now we have 6. Those skills evolve with the market, with the company, with the world. What we need then is not a person that has those skills already, because we can build them. And I'm happy to help you building those skills as a learning and development specialist. But what we need is a person that is curious, that is willing to learn in order to acquire the new skills that in the future Dallara will need to be successful as it has been over the last years. And talking about curiosity, actually curiosity is one of the three main values that Dallara shares. The other two are humbleness and integrity. And then we have a fourth value, which is more a hat to the other three, which is it was hard to define. And at the end of a big conversation, we decided to call it Dallara himself. But I will tell you more about what that means. So first value, humbleness. What does it mean? We want to do our job well and with passion, determination, and competence, embracing failure, sharing knowledge, and overcoming difficulties with resilience, knowing that the greatest danger is to believe that you know. Second value, integrity. We believe in keeping our word, in respecting each other and the promises made. We want to develop bonds based on honesty, trust, and the earnestness of human relationships. 3, curiosity. We want to do better what we have always done, with promptness, enthusiasm, and love for knowledge, challenging what exists in new and adaptable ways, with the continued willingness to learn. And then we have the fourth value, which really is something that you've seen before in this presentation when we were talking about the vision. And this is what is Dallara. So Dallara is not only a company, it's a community that invests every day in a sustainable way for a better future and gives support, security, and solidarity to its people, its families, and its territory with appreciation and gratitude. So this is really what Dallara is. And in order to be part of this community, there is some tips that I would like to give you right now. So I will stop sharing my presentation. And I will rather explain you how and which type of professional profiles we are looking for right now. So the first professional profile that really you should take into consideration if you're willing to be part of this family is the one of the technicians. So who are the technicians? The technicians, there are many types of them, but are mainly the people that, one type of technician, for example, are the people that design the cars. So those technicians are called designers. In order to be a designer here at Dallara, you can do different academic pattern, of course, and a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering is needed. But after that, there are different master degree that you could take. We do pick designers that come from different academic patterns, but there is one academic pattern that I really would like to recommend you because it has been built especially in order to build the skills needed to work in the racing business unit as a designer here at Dallara. And that master is something that you find at Muner. What is Muner? Muner is the Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna. What I'm showing you right now is the website. And what is the Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna is a university that includes 6 academic patterns that have been created by the most important automotive companies worldwide that put together their know-how and put it at disposal of those students that really want to be the leaders and the designers in the automotive industry tomorrow. The master degree that I would like you to check is the one in racing car design. This master degree is really thought in order to build the skills of designers that can be excellent within the racing business unit here at Dallara. Second professional pattern and academic pattern that you can consider if you would like to work at Dallara is the one of technicians for the design and the manufacturing of composite materials. Composite materials is an important focus of Dallara. And in order to have this role at Dallara, a very interesting training pattern that I suggest you is the one offered by ETS Maker. Take a look especially at this section, Corsi Post Diploma, and in particular, Area Progettazione e Materiali. Here you will find a course which is focused on composite materials for motorsport and 3D printing. This is a pattern that is really taught in order to build the skills that will allow you to be successful working here at Dallara on composite materials, which is a very important asset for us. And then we do have a third pattern that I would like to recommend you as well, and a third type of professional profile that we're looking for today. And this is the professional profile of people that do outdoor testing here at Dallara, which is a very amazing and fun part of what we do. So in order to specialize on outdoor testing, what I do recommend you is to take a look at the Experis Academy, and especially take a look at two masters that you find in the section Alta Formazione here under Offerta Formativa. These are the Master in Race Engineering and the Master, in Aerodynamics. Both these masters are really fitting with the kind of skills that Dallara need, because Dallara co-designs together with Experis the academic curriculum. And this makes the academic curriculum very fitting with the type of skills that are needed in order to conduce outdoor testing here at Dallara. Moreover, we do have some professionals here at Dallara that go in the classroom as teachers. So we have a really deep connection with these masters, and I do recommend you to take a look at them. This is all I wanted to tell you today. I just asked the people in the backstage to tell me if there are questions that our listeners sent us in the chat, because I will be very happy to answer them right now. Okay, we do have one. Gian Andrea asks us, first of all, congratulations for the presentation, very interesting and informative. Thanks, Gian Andrea. Are you looking for graduates in economics management? What is the typical recruitment process? So this is a question that I'm happy to answer. I'm actually a graduate in management myself. So yeah, we do look for graduates in economics and management as well. Of course, we have administrative personnel. We have a human resources area, we have a finance area, we have a marketing area. So actually people that have this type of specialization can also enter in the team here at Dallara. The team is growing also under an administrative point of view. The recruitment process in this case starts with an application that you can do, for example, when you find a vacancy on our LinkedIn. By the way, I do recommend to you all to follow us on LinkedIn, because there is where we post vacancies often. And after you have sent an application there, you will be sent an email inviting you to an interview. The interview is conducted here in person at our headquarters at Verano. Sometimes the first step can be done on the phone, and after 1, 2, sometimes 3 interviews, if we find this fit, if you are really a Dallara person, you can be part of the team. Let's see if we have another question. So Dina Gamba, this is in Italian. Once you enter at Dallara, which are the possible development patterns? Okay, this is a question that I'm very happy to answer to, because it's something that we are really focusing on right now and working on. So as you have seen before, Dallara is a community, and Dallara feels a responsibility towards the people that work for the company. This means that people development is very important to us. We do not tend to define development patterns at the beginning when a person is hired. Why not? Because the aspiration of people change over time, because the market changes over time and because Dallara changes over time. So what we really value is the aspiration, talents, and also the preferences of people that work here. And together with them and on the road, meaning over the years when they work here with us, we define which kind of evolution their professional pattern can take. A very important thing is that if you enter in a department at the beginning, this does not mean that you will be retired being in the same department or in the same business unit. There have been people that entered as designers and ended up being project managers. This can happen. And now I would like to connect to this question that I see here on the screen because it's very related. Dina is asking us which type of training we offer to people in order to support their development. So actually, you can start your professional pattern in a department and then end up in a different department. In order to do this, Dallara supports you over your professional career with training. In terms of training, there are, of course, some technical skills that we help you to develop, but there are also some other skills, such as managerial skills, project management, soft skills that we help people to develop, which are very important when they grow in the hierarchy. And in terms of training, this has been always a very important part at Dallara since the foundation of the company. So technical skills, soft skills, managerial skills, this is something that has always been done. Today, we are working, we are restructuring all the training part in order to make it more fitting with the way world and people learn today. So we're working on projects that are based on, of course, the digital dimension of learning, but we're also working on the idea of learning communities, which is an important trend that we've been observing abroad. And that mainly means that we will teach to the different business units and the different departments to share knowledge so that the knowledge doesn't stay within the team, but goes out and benefits all the people here at the company. So this is a very important project that we're working on under the training point of view, and that you will be able to benefit from in case you decide to join Dallara in your future. Do we have any more questions? How is internal mobility between units in Dallara? Interesting question, Giorgio. Thanks for it. Internal mobility is really valued here at Dallara. Both in terms of different business units. Actually, before we observed the trend according to which, for example, the automotive industry usually learned a lot or used a lot of the knowledge which was building in the racing industry. This was a typical pattern. So knowledge was built in the racing industry, and then it was used in the automotive industry. Today, we observe also the opposite. So knowledge that is built in the automotive industry is used in the racing industry. But there is also another important trend with the aerospace industry. The aerospace industry is starting to use a lot of the concepts that are developed in the racing industry, but also the other way around. So knowledge built in the aerospace industry is used in the racing one. Why am I telling you this? Because people that have been working in one business unit can be very useful in order to be this bridge, this person that is able to move the knowledge from one industry to the other, from one business unit to the other. So with the adequate training, if you are willing to rotate among business units, or maybe work in Italy at the beginning and then started working in the United States, as happened before, we can do it, of course. Matteo asks us, a master's degree in aeronautical engineering with focus on aerodynamics could lead to a motorsport career, as the master mentioned before, or those would be seen better? That's a good question, Matteo. Actually, we, as Dallara, look for diverse talent. So the fact that you have studied or you had a different academic pattern doesn't mean that your curriculum won't be taken into consideration. Those patterns that I indicated before are probably better fitting. So if you still haven't enrolled, I would say check the master that I recommended you today, because those are built together with Dallara. So we tell to the university or we tell to experts which kind of skills we will need, and they place them into the curriculum, or they call us as teachers in order to transmit those kind of skills to their students. This doesn't mean that other universities cannot have a very good curriculum that and allow you to develop skills that we may need. This happens all the time. So even if you are actually studying in another master degree, please send your application if you're interested, because we will be happy to read your CV and take you into consideration. As we were saying before, curiosity is the most important part. Of course, we need to build safeguards, so we need competent engineers, but at the same time, we believe that curiosity is sometimes more important than the skills, because skills, we can work on them here, but curiosity is something that you need to have in order to absorb all the knowledge that you can here at Dallara. Federico, what an interior designer could do in Dallara? Are you looking for them? Since you're talking about design, but then it's most of all engineering, how I could improve my knowledge to work with you? Thanks. Federico, this is a tough question for me. I'm not sure how an interior designer could work here at Dallara. Right now, I should go and check. Probably there are profiles which are not exactly fitting with what we traditionally look for, but that with an adequate specialization or with an adequate internal training may have skills that are very important that may become very important for the teams. So I would invite you to drop us a comment on our LinkedIn, maybe to some of the posts that we do, in order to send you an answer via LinkedIn to that type of question. Davide. First of all, great presentation. Thank you, Davide. A computer engineer, what career can follow? It is better to follow some master. What is the usual timing in hiring process? Thank you in advance. Davide, right today, I was meeting our department that is devoted to all the technological part. Actually, there is a lot of space that is reserved to the IT part today, but also we are working a lot on the electronic dimension of cars. So I do believe that engineers that are not necessarily mechanical engineers, but that are electrical engineers or engineers focused on computing may have space within the company. I do invite you to send your application. Regarding the pattern, which is more adequate, there is no one in particular that I can recommend you right now, but I know that in the IT department, but also in the department devoted, for example, to electrical engineering, they work a lot on internal training. So this is probably, there are probably skills and competencies that we can teach you once you are in case they are missing. Let's see if we have other questions. Okay, so no other questions for today. I would like to thank you all for the time that you have dedicated to listen to me, and we do hope to see your CV arriving here via LinkedIn, via mail very soon. Good luck for your academic plans and see you soon.